Good afternoon. Honorable Prime Minister, Ms. Silveria Jacobs, Director of the National Recovery Program Bureau, Mr. Claret Connor, Dutch Steering Committee Member, Mr. Frans Wakers, St. Maarten Steering Committee Member, Mr. Marcel Gumbs, World Bank Steering Committee Member and Country Director for the Caribbean countries, Ms. Lilia Burunciuc. Good afternoon and welcome. Good afternoon to the members of the media and to everyone else in this room. Today's press conference follows the steering committee meeting that just took place, centered around decision-making on fund allocation of the St. Maarten Trust Fund. And it also follows a tour of several activity sites this week under the different trust fund projects. My name is Giselle York, and I am the Head of Communications at the National Recovery Program Bureau. We will start today's press conference with brief introductions and remarks by each of our panelists, and then we will move over to members of the media for any questions that they may have. Honorable Prime Minister, I give the floor to you.
Thank you so much, Giselle. Good afternoon, one and all. And I must say and reiterate a hearty welcome to our new Country Director for the Caribbean region, Ms. Lilia Burunciuc, who is now our steering committee member of the World Bank. And that without taking away anything from our former member, who is also in our midst, from the World Bank, who has served valiantly and with compassion and understanding for St. Maarten's real circumstances and these unique funding that has been over and over explained to us is completely different from what the World Bank is used to doing. I want to give an extreme thank you, a very heartfelt thank you from the people of St. Maarten to Ms. Tassin Sayed, who is now retiring, but who is here for the transition of the new country director. And I must say, we've had a very good transition indeed, starting from very informal greetings to the tours that have taken place. We are very proud as St. Maarten with what has been achieved via this trust fund with the assistance of the World Bank and, of course, the Dutch government. Today is the culmination of discussions that started not way back, but in the 25th of June in the Netherlands, where we had very fruitful meetings, as I mentioned this morning in the press briefing, and whereby the preliminary discussions have led to the decisions that were concretized by today's meeting. So I would like to thank the steering committee members for the open dialogue that we had, together with, of course, the support of Mr. Connor and his staff and Ms. Michelle Keane and the staff of the World Bank that really facilitated that we could have those great meetings back in June. So today's formal approval means a lot for St. Maarten because it confirms $120 million going to much needed projects for St. Maarten, which we will see roll out in the next few years. So thank you once again. We are happy to host you here on St. Maarten and for our continued collaboration in the interest of the people of St. Maarten. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Mr. Connor.
Thank you, Giselle. Prime Minister, good afternoon, and to everyone else here with us today. Obviously, for the NRPB and the St. Maarten Trust Fund, all of these steering committee meetings are very important because they are the meetings that indicate what we are about to do with the funds that will be allocated, and also how we are doing with what we've been given in the past. And I must say, on welcoming Ms. Burunciuc, she was very much impressed with all that she's seen that basically was on display with regard to the projects. And it was great to see a friend in Tassin accompanying her on this visit, because Tassin has brought the level of the steering committee in terms of its execution and its responsibility really to a level that was easily transferred and transitioned to the chairmanship of Lilia. So Tassin, thank you very much on behalf of the National Recovery Program Bureau, the staff at NRPB, and also the people of St. Maarten, because we do this on behalf of the government and the people. One of the things that I'm very, very much happy to have been witness to today in the steering committee meeting is the additional funding that was approved by the steering committee for in particular 2 areas that I find is very important, and that is sports. Prime Minister, you've made your voice clear on that, and we were able to take heed and deliver. And the other one is the mental health and foundation that will receive funding for its programs and development. And I feel personally that the physical and mental well-being of the people is important, especially post the disasters that we have experienced as a country. And that in itself helps in building the resilience in the people, and also the resilience in the country. And this too underpins the need for the support to these groups, the youth and sports people, and also the most vulnerable who may have challenges in different areas. So I'm very, very much happy to see the progression of the trust fund moving into the direction and stimulating this country by building resilience in these areas. Thank you, Giselle.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. Mr. Wakers.
Thank you very much. Well, I would like to thank my fellow members in the steering committee for the very fruitful discussion what we have had today. I would like to thank also Tassine Sayed for her continuous engagement over more than 3 years. And although steering committee meets formally maybe 2 or 3 times a year, we have had many meetings over the phone, over video conference to discuss the issues and to solve the issues. Would I also like to thank Prime Minister Jacobs. But Prime Minister Jacobs said this morning, we started the fruitful discussions of today already a couple of weeks ago in The Hague. And I think in the last few weeks, we have worked on a very positive agenda for the remaining years of the Trust Fund. And I warmly welcome the new country director and steering committee member on behalf of the World Bank, Lilia. And I must say, yesterday, together, as you, Marcel, Tassine, the very dedicated people of NRPB, we visited many projects. This afternoon, we will see even more projects, and tomorrow we will conclude our week in St. Maarten, going to see the progress at the airport. And I must say, it feels very good after years of discussion and preparation to see tangible results for the people of St. Maarten, because that's what we are doing for. So thank you very much for the fruitful cooperation, also on behalf of the Dutch government.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wakers. Mr. Gumbs.
Thank you. Thank you, Giselle. Good afternoon to members of the press, audience. First of all, permit me to, Prime Minister, to thank you for the trust and confidence that you have placed in me in the position I hold on the steering committee representing St. Maarten from 2018, from the beginning. And I tell you, I feel very proud and honored to be able to, in this position, make a contribution, a meaningful contribution to the restoration and the rebuilding of St. Maarten in every sense of the word. I would like to welcome Lilia. We met yesterday, day before yesterday, and we had a very good time yesterday, seeing different projects and getting to know each other. And I must say, Lilia is hit the ground, as we say in our parlance, she hit the ground running, because she's on top of everything and very exemplary chairmanship in the meeting earlier today. Tassin, let me, before I continue, say thank you. And I wouldn't say goodbye, but like the French say au revoir, we will stay in contact definitely. As Tassin, over the 3.5 years, have become not only a colleague in the steering committee, but more so, I think, a friend of St. Maarten, and definitely a friend of mine, and also of the NRPB. And you are leaving. I don't know what your plans are, but from here, I would like to invite you. This is a place where you can come back and visit. I wouldn't tell you all what I have to say here, but maybe later. Yeah, just imagine you can relax. We have 37 beaches, so if you come for a month, you can spend a day on each beach with a different. Some of them don't have coconut trees, but we can plant some coconut trees for you. They were destroyed by the hurricane, and I don't know. I'll have to talk to Frans and Lilia if we can get some funding, maybe for some coconut trees to replenish those. But thank you, Tassin, and we will, of course, talk later. For me, it's been a pleasure hosting this steering committee meeting here on St. Maarten. We've hosted a few others on St. Maarten and some few difficult ones in the past. But, you know, the road has not been easy, but no one said that the road to heaven is, you know, paving gold. There's a lot of potholes in it. And we've been able to come through that, especially in this building. What we are seeing now in 2021 is the fruits of the trust fund that is coming to fruition now, where we are seeing the results. The results, even though there was a delay by the pandemic, by COVID, we still had a lot of work continued thanks to Zoom and Teams and via the internet. So a lot was done, but a lot more could have, you know, we would have been a lot more ahead. But we're very happy with the progress that is being made with the cooperation with NRPB, the executing arm of these projects, and with the World Bank. There's so much of projects to be able to talk about, but yesterday on the visit, I think there's one that really, I shouldn't say struck me, but I'm very satisfied, is the development at our medical center. It's amazing to see what they are doing there. The folks there, they're really working hard. As you know, the medical center is a recipient of funds from this trust fund, and I was very impressed with the work that is going on there, with the expansion, and also the fact that they have done so much with the money they have gotten, where the referrals to overseas has dropped substantially. And that is the goal, because the less referrals you got overseas, the more, less money LZV will have to pay. So LZV will be able to save some money, and that the patients are handled here at home, close to their family. Also like to comment on the two projects that Claret mentioned, the mental health and the repair of the sports facilities, because too often the perception is created that the trust fund should be used to build cement blocks and build buildings. But with the mental health foundation and also with the repairs done to the sports facilities, we are building humans, we are building people with this funding. So I'm very happy that we were able to get the approval for these funding, especially mental health care. You know, we are suffering, we see it every day with especially the effects of not only the hurricane, but in particular also the pandemic. I will leave it at that because I'm getting signals that I'm talking too long already. And I would thank you, Giselle.
Thank you, Mr. Gumbs. Ms. Burunciuc.
Thank you. I'm really very happy to be here. Now, I started my new position on July 1st, and St. Maarten is my first official visit in my new position and my first visit ever to the Caribbean. I love your island, and you're very hospitable people, and I look forward to coming back here. I was very happy to see quite a few projects yesterday. Yesterday was quite an intense day, and to see the results of reconstruction of private houses. I visited a school that is in the process of being reconstructed and getting ready for the new school year. The Leonard Connor School also, I was impressed by what has been done at the medical center. I was briefed on the progress made on the solid waste management project, and I was happy to see some of the projects implemented by NGOs, including satellite libraries. So very good progress. And of course, we are looking forward to progress on implementing the ongoing projects and the new projects. I chaired the steering committee meeting today, and there was full support for the implementation progress, and also for new funding that remaining funding that is being allocated for housing, potential housing project, for mental health project, for upgrading further the sports facilities, and also some environmental conservation activities. I would like to stress very strong commitment that I've seen from meeting Prime Minister and members of the cabinet, and I could see their commitment to the successful implementation of this trust fund and projects under this trust fund for the benefit of the people of St. Maarten. And also, I would like to say that the World Bank is very committed to continuing to support the implementation of this project and to continue to see real results for the people of St. Maarten going forward. And I really look forward to coming back, as I already mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of the panelists. Okay, we turn now to the members of the press. Stephen Cyrillian of PJD2 Radio. You have the floor.
Thank you, Ms. York. My first question is best directed to the NRPB Director, Claret. Mr. Connor, quite a few projects were visited yesterday, as was alluded to. Can you remind us again as to what those projects are?
Sure, Stephen Cyrillian. Thank you for the question. Yesterday, we tried to give the delegation, the steering committee members, a helicopter overview of what we have been doing. So we did not visit every single project site, but we visited some of the projects within the different programs. So what the committee was able to witness is some of the facilities that we upgraded, like the shelter facilities, the school facilities, the homes. We went and we also toured the dump area, the waste area, and we actually took a position on top of a hill so that the steering committee was able to see some of the activities that is going on over at the dump site. As you know, this project is one of the projects that has some very challenging safeguard elements involved in it, because they'll be dealing with not only the land and the waste site, but we're also dealing with displacement of people, and with the World Bank's approach that no one should be left in a worse situation than they've been met. There is a lot of work that would go into dealing with the project affected people. This afternoon, the steering committee will be visiting the lagoon to see some of the work that is ongoing there as well. And I think the island is very much pleasantly happy with how that job is going down in the lagoon with the ship salvaging. And the other things that the steering committee, as indicated by Mr. Gumbs and Ms. Burunciuc, is the hospital project. And the NRPB implements majority of the trust fund projects, but not all of the trust fund projects. And they were able to witness one of the playgrounds that was completed by R4CR organization up in Middle Region, where we were able to meet with the members of the board of the Catholic School Board, and they were able to give us a nice presentation that was prepared by the children of the neighborhood, just singing and thanking the different organizations, including the trust fund, for the support that was given to them to make that project a reality. That's actually a completed project. The school, Sister Marie Laurent School, is also one of the projects that will be that is being prepared right now, and that was also visited because that's just adjacent to that area. And we also went down to the St. Maarten Housing Development Foundation and toured that property to see the works that are ongoing. Of course, with that we were able to repair about 109 social units initially, and we also covered some retroactive payments to the St. Maarten Housing Development. And right now we are working on a number of towers that is going to be fully renovated. The steering committee was able to view that yesterday as well. So those are some of the areas that we thought would be important for them to see. This afternoon, we're also going to visit a few of the entrepreneurs that have benefited from the ESP project, the Enterprise Support Project, and also tomorrow they'll be visiting the airport as well. So we are right now implementing projects to the tune of about $311 million, and we have another $200 million that is being worked on and has just been approved today to complete by the end of 2025 as the trust fund comes to an end. Thank you.
Interestingly, you spoke of so many projects, yet you did not mention the house repair program.
Home repair programs, yes, Stephen.
Repair program.
Yes, we did. I mentioned it in two ways. One is we visited actually 2 homes that have been repaired. We were able to view a number of the homes in the caravan as we drove along, and that is ongoing as well. Right now, just to give you a number, we're up to about 70 homes that has been completed. We have another about 50 homes to go under this program. And as you know, and all of the programs that have been that I've had an opportunity to speak about, this is one of the programs that has been very much appreciated by the individual families for the assistance that they're getting under this program. Yes, this shipwreck salvaging is this afternoon as well. Thank you.
The Prime Minister spoke of $120 million, which has been allocated for various projects. She also spoke of the monies that have been made available or allocated for the Mental Health Foundation, and so for sports as well. Prime Minister, precisely how much money are we talking about specifically for the Mental Health Foundation?
Thank you, Stephen. We do know that the Mental Health Foundation put forward a project which the government of St. Maarten approved and forwarded on to the steering committee. It was for about $6 million, and $8 million has been approved to be able to include also certain aspects potentially of a turning point as well. So we wanted to be able to cover as much as possible, but of course, keeping in mind the whole safeguards of the World Bank where that is concerned, it would have to fall within their parameters. So the potential is there for the extra $2 million that would assist, because we see the close correlation based on the presentations that have been made to government where mental health and substance abuse are strongly connected on St. Maarten. So we are trying to actually deal with that aspect as well, or making sure that there is funding available for the rollover into that aspect in as much as possible. In terms of the other project, $15 million had also been set aside for financial management. I think you would have remembered the discussion in the past pertaining to the DPO And so that had been reserved, and we were very happy that we were able to get it secured so that the Ministry of Finance could execute what had already been planned and was already at the World Bank being vetted in terms of the roadmap to move forward with that. So the Minister of Finance was very, very happy with that. We had the extra funding for ERP1. What was the amount? In the amount of $15 million, and that would be the one that would then be partially for sports facilities and school gyms. And then also, I think I mentioned this morning, the meteorological building, and Ms. Burunciuc mentioned the environmental support projects. So they are smaller projects that would then, of course, pending the amount of money that's left back. So it is allocated for that, but with the execution, sometimes we may not be able to achieve all that we had in mind. What is good to know is that the priorities of government were strongly brought forward in that meeting and received the consensus of all three parties, because that is the way projects are approved. And there had to be a proper assessment of where projects were at the time and reallocation where feasibility didn't seem possible to put them into projects that were hard, very much needed and identified by the country as priorities. So I'm very happy for that opportunity to be able to do that. And that also included a sustainable housing project, which we were also able to allocate 20 million for. I believe I covered of it. The expansion for the additional financing for the airport was also another 20 million. So I think I covered most of the budget posts of the extra 120.
Thank you. We have less than 2 minutes, so Stephen, if you have a final quick question that can be answered in one word or one sentence, you can go ahead.
Well, I'll make it to the country manager. Some people strongly love the bat. Some people strongly believe that too many red tapes to go through in order to get things executed as far as projects are concerned. We are almost 4 years after the hurricane. Wouldn't you agree that sometimes, based on the situation, we need to speed up things in one way or the other?
Yes, it's always important to move with the highest possible speed, but not at the detriment of the quality of what is being done, and trying not to harm the people and not to harm the environment in the process, and also doing things in a transparent and orderly manner. So we have these very high standards, and we always apply these high standards to all projects around the world. And as I said, we are committed to moving as fast as possible. It took also some time at the beginning to set the systems and processes, because some systems and processes didn't exist. For example, a transparent procurement system. And now these processes exist, and this will allow future projects to actually move much faster. As I said, we are committed to provide the highest possible standards of services to the people and build quality infrastructure and quality support and quality systems so that you can enjoy it for many years ahead.
Mr. Gumbs would like to add 15 seconds onto that.
Maybe we'll have to take an hour. You'll invite me to your radio station. I'll give you more details why has taken so long, but it's quality work that's being produced. In the past, we are accustomed of building, workers go on the site and without safety shoes, slippers and sneakers on, and then they step on nails and then they lost their toe or whatever. Under these conditions, World Bank conditions, every worker on a work site has to have a helmet on, has to have shoes with steel toes, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's an exercise we're going through, but in the long run, we're going to benefit. Probably, I've said it in other settings, the best thing probably happened to St. Maarten is to have the World Bank come in and assist us, and so that we can learn how to do things the proper way. Then you realize that over the years, we've been doing things, yes, but not the proper way. But I'll talk more in details with you when you get time. And when you invite me to your radio station. You're happy to do that? Thank you.
Thank you so much, panelists, for your time this afternoon as well. You, Mr. Cerulean. That would bring us to the end of our press conference for today. I wish everyone here a pleasant afternoon further. Goodbye.